Rama Rama. Namaste everyone. Welcome you to session 5 of Samskritasri Pathamala 1. Today, let us hope to start the simple words section, lesson 2. Let us start with a Mangala Shlokaha. Shuklam Baradharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vighnopasantaye Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Jnananandamayam Devam Nirmalaspatika Kritim Adharam Sarva Vidyanam Hayagrivam Upasmahe Saraswati Namaste Stu Veena Pustakadharini Hamsavahana Marudhe Vidyadanam Purushvame. Let us quickly go through what we have done so far in all the classes. We have completely seen the Devanagari script and its components, the swaras or the vowels, which are 13 in number, 5 hrasva swaras, a, e, u, r, l, and 8 dirgha swaras, which are a, e, u, r, a, I, o, and au. And then we saw the consonants, which are 33 in number, which are divided into Vargiya Vyanjanas and Avargiya Vyanjanas. Vargiya Vyanjanas have 5 groups of 5 consonants each. So there are 25. They are classified based on the place of origin in the mouth. So they get the group names also based on the place of origin in the mouth. The Kavarga or the Kanthya Varnas are Ka, Kha, Ga, Gha, Nga. The Chavarga or the Talavya Varnas are Cha, Cha, Ja, Jha, and Nya. Then we have Murdhanya Varnas or the linguals. Linguals have Ta, Tha, Da, Dha, and Na. Then the dentals or Dantya Varnas, which are Ta, Tha, Da, Dha, and Na. Then the labials or the Oshtya Varnas, which are pronounced with the mouth. They are Pa, Ha, Ba, Bha, and Ma. Then there are Antasthaha, which are Yara, Lava. And then there are Ushma Varnas, which are Sh, Shra, Sa, and Ha. So the Antasthaha and Ushmanaha together form the Avargiya Vyanjanas. Then we also saw the classification of consonants based on the amount of stress involved as Mridu Vyanjanas and Karkasha Vyanjanas. The first 2 letters of the Vargas and Sh, Shra, Sa form the hard consonants or the Karkasha Vyanjanas, and the letters 3, 4, and 5 of the Vargas and Yara, Lava form the Mridu Vyanjanas. Then we saw another classification of consonants based on the amount of breath as Mahaprana and Alpaprana. Mahaprana letters are the 2nd and 4th of the Vargas and Sh, Sh, Sa, Ha. And the Alpapranas are the 1st, 3rd, and 5th letters of the Vargas and Ya, Ra, La, and Ba. The 5th letter of all the Vargas are pronounced with the nasal sound, and so they are called Anunasika Varnas. Then we saw Ayogavahas. In Ayogavahas, first we saw the Anuswara, which is a purely nasal sound which follows all vowels. It follows only vowels. So with Akara it is A, with Ikara it is E, with Akara it is A, and so on. Then Visarga, which gets a Ha sound. And this also follows the vowels. So with Akara it is Aha, with Ikara it is E, and so on. Then we saw the Jihvamuliyaha and the Upadhmaniyaha. Jihvamuliyaha is a Visarga before Ka and Kha, and Upadhmaniyaha is a Visarga before Pa and Ha. Then These are the ayogavahas. Then we saw how to combine the consonants with vowels and what are the various representations for the gunitaksharas. Then we saw how to combine different consonants, where consonants occur one after the other without intervening vowels. So we saw up to 3 consonants. These are all the components of the Devanagari script. Today I will just mention a couple of points just to bring your attention to this. Now, these varnas, tha, dha, and bha, we saw in the Varnamala, and we noticed that there is a break in the horizontal line above in writing these consonants. And you saw that if you there is a curve here, because of which there is a break in the line. Similarly, for dhakara, there is a curve at the top, because of which there is a break in the horizontal line. And similarly, bhakara also has a break in the horizontal line. If you write it continuously, the horizontal line goes over this, then you will confuse it with yakara. So yakara and dhakara, this is a difference. Similarly, ghakara and dhakara, the break in the line is one identifying feature. And makara and bhakara also, there is a difference because of the break in the line. Now in the Sanyukta Aksharas, Kshakara is one letter where you have a break in the line. So you must notice this and you should write it appropriately while practicing. Now we saw that Shakara takes a different form while combining with the other consonants, and every time it takes this form of a loop, you have to break the horizontal line above and not run it continuously over it. So this is one feature which I wanted to point out to you, because when you're practicing, you can practice it right from the beginning. Then somebody had written to me and asked, in shlokas, we find this symbol. For example, in our Mangala shloka, we have Saraswati Namaste Stu. This S symbol is there. By the way, this S symbol also, there is a break in the line. So this, how do we pronounce this and what is it called? Because we have not seen it anywhere as part of the Devanagari script, elements of the Devanagari script, isn't it? So this is called an avagraha symbol. So what happens is that when we combine words, there are certain letters which elide or which become absent when two words are combined. For instance, in this Namaste-stu, Namaha, Te and Astu are three words which are combined together. So Astu, instead of Astu, we have written just Stu. This is because of a grammar rule of combining two words. So this avagraha merely represents that there was an akara before. Now, with the sandhi having been done, there is no akara there. So it is a representation. This is not part of the conventional way of writing the Devanagari script. This has been introduced more recently in textbooks, which helps in identifying that there is a letter which has gone missing, and also which helps in pronunciation. But this avagraha is not supposed to be pronounced at all. You will just pronounce it as if it was not there. It were not there. For instance, we don't say Namaste Astu. We say Namaste Stu only. So Saraswati Namaste Stu. Just if this was not there, we would have still said Namaste Stu. So this just shows that there would have been an akara which is now not there. So this is one aspect. So it will help you in reading. And one more thing, another doubt was asked, in which the textbook, it says the addition of two kakaras is represented like this. But I think the form of the two kakaras has not been correctly given. It is very similar to the kakara-vakara combination in the textbook. So the distinction between the two is that for the kakara with the vakara, when they are written one above the other, you just write the vakara, there is no extension on the right hand side. Whereas for the double kakara, both are written one under the other, but both appear fully on either side of the line, on both sides of the line. So that is the difference. You have to make the change in the textbook. And then there is also another mistake which I just observed, that the kakara yakara combination in the Samyuktakshara is given as here. So you have to correct that as well in the textbook. So before checking the homework, so far whatever we have done, if there are any questions, I will take them and then proceed. Yes, sometimes the double avagraha is also used. So the double avagraha again means that two letters have elided. There is no other significance for that. Okay. Now let us check the homework. There were two parts. So let us check both. If you want to read out the answers, you can raise your hands and I will call your names. Malini Sundarraman. Malini Sundarraman, would you like to try?
Yes, ma'am. Ram Ram.
Ram Ram. Namaste. Yeah, so
The
the first one.
The first one is try.
Yes.
It
So
plus repaha plus I.
correct. I'm sorry, here again the repa should have been with the slanting line below. Because it is a pure consonant. So that is a mistake. Please correct it. Next is?
Ksha.
Yes.
Ik plus sha plus a.
Yes. Kakara, shakara and akara. Correct.
The third one is throw.
Yes.
Akara, repaha or and o. Throw.
Oka. Yes.
Okara. Ikti.
Yes.
Kakara, takara and ikara.
Ikara.
Ilkr. Lakara, kakara and rukara.
Yes. Rikara.
Shru.
Yes.
Shakara, repaha and ukara.
Yes.
The next one is shri. Shakara, repaha and rikara.
Here there is no repa. There is just the shakara with the r, which is a vowel. So it is just a gunitakshara of shakara with r. Even if it's a gunitakshara, the shakara has undergone this change in shape. So that is what you need to observe here.
Okay.
It's just shakara r. That's it. Yeah.
Dve.
Yes.
Dakara, vakara and ekara.
Very good. Dhanyavada.
Thank you.
Nishchit Mahodaya, would you like to try?
Namaste.
Ram. Namaste.
Dma, Dakara, Makara and Akara.
This is not Dakara. If it were Dakara, you would have had the curve below, the loop, and then the changed Makara form, and then which is on the side. Here it is Takara, which is the first letter of the Tavarga, below which there is Makara. Yeah.
Okay. The next one is Plau, which is Pakara, Lakara and Aukara.
Yeah. Correct.
The next one is Kra, which is Arka, which is Rakara, Kakara and Akara.
Yes. Rebha, Kakara and Akara. Yes.
Bru, which is Bakara, Repha and Ukara.
Yes. Very good.
Vyo, which is Vakara, Yakara, Okara.
Yeah.
The next one is Arta, which is Repha, Takara and Akara.
Excellent.
The next one is Hni, which is Hakara, Nakara and Ikara.
Yeah.
The next one is Tau, which is Sakara, Takara and Aukara.
Very good. Dhanyawadaha, Mahodaya. Pappu, Shobha, Latamani, would you like to try?
Yeah. Ram.
Ram. One. What is this?
Which one? Ma. Hakara.
Yes.
Makara.
And?
Akara.
Very good.
Three. Chakara. Rakara or Ekara.
Cha, which is the Mahaprana, second letter of the Chavarga. Then Repha, then
Repha or Ekara.
Yeah.
Gri. Gakara plus Repha plus Ekara. Nya. Nyakara plus
Can you see the slanting line above? It has a slanting line on the top.
Ref.
That is not Repha. That
Ekara, right?
Ekara. It's the
Ekara.
Addition of A.
Yeah. Ekara. Nya plus Ekara.
So what are the letters that have gone into this?
Which one? Nye.
Jakara.
J plus Jakara plus Nya plus A.
Very good.
Yeah.
Jakara, Nyakara. Here again, the slanting line below is missing. I have to correct that as well. So please make a note of it.
And no, Ghakara, Nakara plus Okara.
And Okara. Next is?
Tr. Takara plus Tr.
Takara, Repha
plus
Akara. Correct. Takara, Repha and Akara. Yes.
This is yeah. Hakara plus Repha.
This is Hakara. No.
Akara.
And Rkara, which is the vowel. The Hraswa R vowel is what has combined with Hakara. This is a Gunitakshara. This is not a Sanyuktakshara. This is a Gunitakshara of Hakara and Rkara. So you recognize this Rkara, right? Which we saw as a Hraswa Swara Varna.
Okay, got it. Me. Kakara, Makara plus Ikara.
Kakara, Makara and Ikara. Dhanyawadaha. Excellent.
Dhanyawadaha, madam. Oh, Ruvantara plus.
Okay. So the next thing, 7.2.2, you would like to answer, please raise your hands. MS Dandapani, would you like to try, Mahodaya?
Instu. You will hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you. Ram Ram. Mahodaya.
Instu. Ram. Instu. Na.
Yeah. So can
It. Who.
so nakara, sakara, takara, and then ukara.
Yeah.
Just a moment.
Yeah.
Ha.
It.
Yeah.
Ya. Plus ha.
Sorry, Mahodaya, I didn't hear you properly.
It. Ya. Plus ha. Ha.
So there is kakara, takara, yakara, and then akara. So k, y, and a. Okay.
Nitya. Nakara.
Yeah.
Nakara. Yakara and akara.
Yeah. Very
Nitya.
good. Yes.
Kshya. Kshya.
Yes.
Ka plus ish plus ya plus a.
Excellent. Next is
Nitya.
yeah.
Na plus it plus ya plus ha.
Yeah. It's the hrasva akara at the end. Okay.
Intru. Intru. Na, ka, ra, and u.
No, there is no u there. It is if you had a loop and then the slanting line, it would have been an ukara. This
Okay.
slanting line just represents that it is a pure consonant. There is no vowel which has yet been added to this cluster.
Intra.
It's just intra. Intra. So there is, I by mistake added the akara here. If the line was absent, then you could have added the akara. I'll make these corrections before I upload the presentation on the course page. So you have to make a note of this as well. Okay, Mahodaya, can you try the next one as well?
Ringa. Ringa. Ringa.
Yes.
Repa. Na. Plus ga. Ga.
Yeah. Akara. Good.
Ringa.
Yes. Next is
Tupra. Tupra. Ta. Pa. Plus ra. Plus ha.
What is the first letter?
Ta.
Takara. Takara, akara, repa, and then akara.
And ha.
Okay. Dhanyavadaha, Mahodaya.
Dhanyavad. Dhanyavad.
Michelle La Rocca, would you like to try?
Yes, namaste, Ram Ram.
Ram Ram, namaste.
So that is sti,
Yes.
sakara, takara, repa, I.
Yeah. Very good.
Sti, stra.
Yes.
Shakara, takara, repa, a.
Very good.
And then gray, ga kara repa I.
This has a curve above as well. So what does it represent?
That is repa g repa. So
Yes.
gra.
Gra. Yeah. So there is a repa before and a repa after, and then at the end there is an akara. Very good. Next.
Sa ska. So
Yes.
sakara, sakara, kakara, akara.
Yes.
And did he, that is dakara, dhakara, no, ardi, that is repa, dakara, dhakara, I.
Very good. Excellent.
And kshma,
Yes.
shakara, no, kakara, shakara,
Yeah.
makara, akara.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
And that is dishra, dakara,
Yes.
shakara, repa.
No. Here it is the bakara. The bakara with the yeah. So it is the
bra.
Yeah. Bra.
Da bra.
Yeah.
And tsva.
Yes. Yes.
Takara, sakara, vakara, akara.
Very good. Dhanyawad.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Ram Ram.
Next. Prema Sripati Rao, would you like to try?
I'll try.
Yeah.
Sakara, takara, vakara, akara.
Excellent. 1 minute. Yeah. Then
Takara, sakara, vakara, akara.
Yeah.
का वर्गस्य व्यञ्जनाक्षरं ञकार ककार षकार अकार.
Yeah. So you don't pronounce it as nya, it is nga.
Nga.
Nga, just nga. It comes from the throat as well as from the nose. So there is a sound produced from the nose and the throat alone. So nga. Yeah.
Nga. Jakara, yakara, okara.
Actually, there is repa is there. Yeah. I could not know this. There's a problem. It's
there is a repa.
Here.
It is jakara, yakara, repaha, okara.
So when the curve comes above representing the repa, it is to be pronounced first, because only if the repa precedes will you get a curve above. So it is r, j, y, and then okara. Repa, jakara, yakara, and then finally okara. Good. Next.
Nakara, dhakara, repaha, akara.
Yes.
Dhakara, rakara, vakara, akara.
Here also, the repa, which has become the curve, has to be pronounced first. Then the dhakara, then the vakara.
Nakara, nakara, dra, dakara, repaha, akara.
Excellent. The last one.
Kakara, takara, vakara, akara.
Very good. Dhanyawad. So now let us begin lesson 2, where we will be learning some simple words in Sanskrit. Now that we have learned the alphabet, we will now proceed with making simple akara ending words. So these are, first we will learn the nouns, and then we will proceed to learning some pronouns, and then based on that we can start the construction of sentences. But the first step is to know some nouns. Before that, I would like to mention a couple of points that Sanskritam as a language has 3 genders. So in many languages there are 3 genders, that is masculine. In Sanskritam it is called Pullingam. In feminine gender is called Strilingam, and neuter gender is called Napumsakalingam. So there is Pullingam, Strilingam and Napumsakalingam. These 3 genders are common in many languages. But in Hindi, we have just 2 Pullingam and Strilingam. You have just the masculine and the feminine. But the speciality in Sanskritam is that you don't decide the lingam of a noun based on the meaning. It is based on the word itself, which means when the word was coined, the gender had also been predetermined and assigned. So when you learn the noun, you should learn it along with the gender. So why I'm saying this is, for instance, there is this word in Sanskritam called mitram. Mitram is a Napumsakalinga word. It is a neuter gender word. So your mitra means friend. Your friend could be a man or a woman, or it can be of any gender. But since the word is in Napumsakalingam, that word will always have only the neuter gender. So which is why we have to learn the words according to their predetermined lingam. Then another speciality is that all nouns appear in 3 numbers. In most languages, we have a singular form and a plural form. But the speciality in Sanskritam is that there is a dual form as well. It is called dvivachanam. So we have a singular form which is called ekavachanam. Eka means one. Dvivachanam means dual or two. Two is dvi. So dvivachanam. And bahu means many. So there is a plural form which is bahuvachanam. So there are 3 lingas and 3 vachanas. Vachana means the number. Singular, dual and plural. Ekavachanam, dvivachanam and bahuvachanam. But the nouns which we are going to learn in this lesson, at least for the first few lessons, we will be learning only the singular forms of the nouns. In the textbook in lesson 2, there are some pronouns which are introduced. But I thought it would be better if we learn it in lesson 3, where we are going to construct some sentences. For now, we will just see some nouns which are in Pullingam, Strilingam and Napumsakalingam. So they are classified into according to the linga as Pullingam, Strilingam and Napumsakalingam. Let us just familiarize ourselves with some words. So here are some Pullingam words. Most of these words have a corresponding, a similar word in many of the Indian regional languages as well. So we might be familiar with many of these words. So I would like somebody to volunteer to read, because you can slowly practice reading with the help of these small words. You can start practicing the reading of these small words, which will help you. So let us make it more interactive. Let me see if anybody has volunteered to read. If you want to read, you can raise your hands. Ramachandran Rajagopal Mahodaya, would you like to read?
Ram Ram.
Ram Ram. Namaste, Mahodaya.
Amaraha.
Amaraha. Amaraha means?
God.
Amaraha means God. The next one?
Achalaha.
Yeah. Cha, la, and ha. Yeah.
Ajaha.
It means Achalaha is hill. Yeah. You can read the English meaning as well alongside.
Ajaha.
Ajaha.
Ajaha. Ajaha.
Yeah. Yes.
Goat.
Ajaha is goat. Next.
Akashaha.
Yeah.
Sky.
Sky.
Agamaha.
Yes.
Scripture.
Scripture. Yes.
Acharaha.
Very good.
Conduct. Conduct.
Conduct. Yes.
Uttajaha.
Uttajaha. Yes.
Uttajaha. Hut.
Uttajaha is a hut. Yes.
Karaha. Hand.
Kara. Hand.
Kakaha. Crow.
Oh, excellent. Dhanyavadaha, Mahodaya. Does somebody else want to try? Ramji Hari, would you like to try?
Yeah, ma'am.
Ram Ram. Namaste.
Ram Ram, ma'am.
Yeah, try.
Yes, ma'am. Khagaha, bird.
Khaga. Very good.
Gajaha, elephant.
Yes.
Gajananaha, Ganesha.
Yeah. So,
Karaha,
yes.
spy.
Spy.
Devaha,
Yeah.
god.
Very good.
Naraha, man.
Yes. Yeah.
Balaha, boy.
Yeah.
Mayuraha, peacock.
Very, yes.
Shivaha, Lord Shiva.
Very good. Dhanyavadaha, Mahodaya. Now, if I have more volunteers, we can read this one more time so that you become the words. Ram K 1986. Ram K 1986. Mahodaya, you're self-muted. Would you like to try? Okay. Rekha MS. Rekha MS.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ram
Would you
Ram,
like
ma'am.
to try it again? Ram Ram.
Yes, ma'am. I will try.
You can start
Amaraha.
from Amaraha. Yeah.
Amaraha. God.
Yes.
Achalaha. Hill.
Yes.
Ajaha. Goat.
Very good.
Akashaha. Sky.
Very good.
Agamaha. Scripture.
Very good.
Acharaha. Conduct.
Yes.
Uttajaha. Hut.
Yes.
Karaha. Hand. Kakaha. Crow. Ram
Excellent.
Ram.
Ram Ram. Dhanyavadaha. Sarang Anand. Sarang Anand, would you like to try? Yeah.
Hari Om.
Hari Om, Ram Ram.
Khagaha, bird.
Yes.
Gajaha, elephant. Gajananaha, Ganesha. Charaha,
A
spy.
bit slowly. A bit slowly so that the others can also follow. Gajananaha.
Gajananaha, Ganesha.
Very good.
Charaha is spy.
Yes.
Devaha is god. Naraha, man. Balaha, boy, Mayuraha, peacock, Shivaha, Lord Shiva.
Excellent. Dhanyavadaha Mahodaya.
Then
Next, we have some Strilingam words. So most of these are names, but they also have other meanings. The first word is Asha. Asha means wish or desire. It is also just a name, Asha. Then we have Uma. Uma means goddess Parvati. Then Bala, girl, Mala, a necklace, can also be a name. Rama is goddess Lakshmi, or it can just be the name of a person. Lata is again a name, or it also means a creeper. And Veena is both a musical instrument as well as the name Veena. Shala is the abode, like we have Pathashala. So it's the abode of learning. Then we have Suta, meaning daughter. So does somebody want to read now? Shakti, would you like to read?
Yes, Acharya.
Rama. Namaste.
Asha. Namaste.
Yes.
Rama. Asha.
Yeah.
Uma. Bala.
English word as well, so that you understand what it is and you learn the meaning.
Asha. It is either will or desire. Uma.
It's a wish. Yeah.
Wish. Uma. Bala.
Yes.
Girl.
Yes.
Mala. Necklace.
Very
Rama. Could be a name. Rama.
Yeah. Yeah. You can go ahead with the other words. Yeah.
Lata. Either a name or a creeper.
Yes.
Veena. Musical instrument. Veena. Shala. Which is adore. Suta.
It is an abode. Abode is a place, of a dwelling place. Shala.
Shala. Padashala.
Yes.
Suta. Daughter.
Dhanyavada. Sarita Singh, would you like to read this, the feminine Strilinga words?
Okay. Okay. Asha is Asha in English. Uma is Uma the name. Bala, Mala, necklace. Rama is Rama the name. Lata is Lata, the name of the creeper. Veena, or Veena, the musical instrument or the name. Shala, name. Suta, daughter.
Very good. Then we have some Napumsakalinga words. The Napumsakalinga words, these are the words which are given in the textbook. Now, what we have to note here is that all these Napumsakalinga words end in the Anuswara. If you notice, the Anuswara is at the end of all these Napumsakalinga words. Now, these words are written as individual separate words. So, normally what we do is that the Anuswara at the end of the word is allowed to come only when it is followed by a consonant. Now, the Anuswara at the end of a word, there are three possibilities. Either it is at the end of a sentence, it is the last word in the sentence, or it is followed by a word which is a vowel, or it is followed by a word which is a consonant. Now, only in the third case, where the word is followed by a consonant, is the Anuswara allowed to come at the end. In all other cases, it has to be a Makara at the end. The Makara has only become the Anuswara before a consonant. This is according to a Sandhi rule. It is an important grammar principle, And therefore, let us try to stick to this discipline of using only the makara at the end of the word, unless we are going to write another word next to it, which is a consonant beginning word or a word beginning with a consonant. For instance, I have given you 3 sentences. Etat asanam nasti. This is not a chair. So there is a nakara immediately following this. So that is why it has become an anuswara. Whereas in this sentence, etat asanam asti. Akara is a vowel. So we are allowed to, we have to write makara at the end. Etat asanam. We are not going to say anything beyond that. Etat asanam. In that case also, at the end of the sentence also, it should only be a makara. Only when a consonant follows will we write a anuswara at the end. I hope this rule is clear. So we will, actually in this textbook, they have not observed this strictly, but let us do this practice because it is along the way it is going to help us. So right from the beginning, let us strictly follow this rule of using the anuswara at the end only when a consonant follows. So now we will read the neuter gender, napumsakalinga words with the makara at the end. So if somebody wants to try and read, you can raise your hands. There is Samyukta. Mahadaya, yeah. Can you try reading the first one?
First one, asna.
There is a, sa, na, and then makara. Asanam.
Okay, ma'am. Asanam. Seat.
Very good. Seat.
Abharanam. Abharanam.
Yes.
Jewel.
Very good. In this, you should pronounce the bhakara with more breath. Abharanam. Abharanam.
Abharanam. Abharanam. Jewel.
Very good. Yes.
Jalam. Water.
Yes. Yes.
Anmah. Face.
This is a. There are 2 nakaras, one after the other. A, na, ananam.
Okay, ma'am. Ananam. Face.
Yes.
Vanam.
Yes.
Forest.
Very good. You can continue with the rest.
Yes, ma'am. Bhavanam. House. Dhanam. Wealth.
Yes.
Kamalam. Lotus. Phalam. Fruit.
Here again, it is not phalam, it is ha. You should pronounce the pa with the hakara distinctly. Ha. Can you try that one more time?
Yes, ma'am. Phalam.
Very good. Fruit.
Sumam. Flower.
Very nice. Thank you. Dhanyavada. Somebody else can also try. Sukanyasi. Sukanya. Ram. From the beginning.
Yes. Neuter gender words. Napumsakalingaha. Asana. Abharanam. Jewel. Jalam.
Yes.
Third. Ananam. Face.
Yeah.
Forest.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Continue.
Bhavanam.
Yeah.
Bhavanam. House.
Yes. Yes.
Kamalam. Lotus. Phalam.
We didn't hear your this dhanam. Can you repeat it one more time?
Dhanam. Wealth.
Yes.
Kamalam. Lotus.
Yes.
Phalam. fruit.
Very good.
Kusumam, flower.
Excellent. Dhanyavadah, Mahodaya. So, we will go back to the Pullingam words. What did we observe here? All the Pullingam words that are given here, all the masculine gender Pullingam words which are given here have an akara ending with a visarga at the end. So when there is a final akara followed by a visarga, we can, at this level, we can conclude that it is a Pullingam word. Just like amaraha, achalaha, there is aha at the end of every word. So based on this, we can conclude that all the Pullingam words have an aha at the end. What about the Strilingam words? All of them have an akara at the end. There is no visarga. There is just an akara. So we can, at this stage, we can conclude that akara is the indication of a Strilingam word. All Strilingam words which we have learned so far have an akara ending. What about the Napumsakalinga words? They have a akara followed by a makara. What is it? We have here asanam, abharanam. So is the common feature of all these words. So at this stage, we can conclude that is the indication of a Napumsakalinga word. Neuter gender words have at the end. So let us do some exercises. I will give you the English word and see if you can recollect the Sanskritam word for it. Can I have again some volunteers? Suresh Mahodaya, you want to try?
Ram.
Ram. Yeah. Do you remember the word for hill?
Hill. Hill is achalam. Achalaha.
Very good. Achalaha. It is a Pullinga word. So it has an aha ending. Yes. Yeah. Next is
necklace. Mala.
Mala. Akara ending. So it is a Strilinga word. Yes.
Uttaha.
Correct. Uttajaha.
Uttajaha
is a Pullinga word for hat. Yes.
Face. Face is ananam. Ananam is ending with sound. It is neuter gender.
Excellent. Dhanyavadah. Yeah.
Dhanyavadah.
Uma Bolla, would you like to try another set of words? Uma Bolla, you're self-muted. If you want to try, you can unmute yourself. Okay. Vidya Mutyam, you want to try? Ram. What is the word for house?
House is
Houses. The word that we just saw is bhavanam. Bhavanam. It is a Napumsakalinga word with an ending. Okay. No problem. Try the next one.
Fine. Charaha. It's a
it is a Pullinga word. Charaha. Aha is the ending. Yes.
girl, bala. It's a strilinga.
Excellent.
Peacock, mayuraha, linga word ending with a visarga aha.
Excellent. Dhanyawadaha. Bihan, would you like to try?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, sure. 1 minute. Yeah. Do you remember the word for flower? Shall I give you a hint? It starts with who?
Yes, ma'am.
You remember it? It is kusumam. Yes. Next is, there were actually 2 words for God. You can tell me either one of them.
Pushpam.
Okay, pushpam is another word for flower. Very good. But for God, do you remember the word for God? Very good.
Devaha.
Amaraha or Devaha. Both mean God. Okay, excellent. Next.
Kamalaha.
It is Kamalam.
Kamalam.
It is a Napumsakalinga word with as the ending. Excellent. Next. A board. Very good. A board is Shala with an Akara ending. It is a Strilingam word. Dhanyawadaha Mahodaya. Vijay Krishna, I'm unable to unmute you. Vatsala Jambunathan, would you like to try?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, Rama, tell me.
Ram.
Daughter.
Sutta. Daughter,
Excellent.
Sutta.
It is a Strilingam word.
Strilingam.
Akara. Yeah.
Strilingam. Abharanam.
Abharanam. It is ending with an so it is
Napunsalingam
word. Yes.
Shiva.
Yes.
Shiva. Masculine gender.
Yes. Very good. Pullinga. Shiva.
Fruit. Phalam. Phalam.
Very good. Excellent. Dhanyawadaha. I think that's all good there is. So let us quickly revise what we just did, and then if there is time, I will take some questions as well. Okay. So we saw in lesson 2 some simple words in Pullingam, masculine, Strilingam, feminine, and neuter gender, Napumsakalinga words. And we saw that the gender of the word in Sanskritam is based on the word itself. So you learn the word along with the gender. And it is not, sometimes you can guess the meaning, guess the gender based on the meaning, but that is not always possible in Sanskrit. This you should remember very clearly. So let me check if there are any questions. I will try to answer a few of them. If I don't have the time, please write to me with your doubts. When Bhavanam was written, Ma Varga will come at the end or a dot at the top. Everything, when you write the word alone, you write it with a makara at the end. But when you write it in a sentence and it is followed by a consonant, you can write the anuswara as a dot above the last letter. Pushpam, I think you've just given some answers. Napumsaka word is pullinga. Napumsaka lingaha shabdaha. So when it is a adjective, so it depends on what it qualifies. Based on that, it gets its gender. I'm sorry, actually, I'm not able to call all of you because there are many of you who are participating. So I try to give a chance to those who have not answered before. Not able to unmute. This 7.2.2, Repha, Dakara, Dhakara, and Ikara. Let me go to that slide. Which is the word you're saying? Repha, Dakara, Dhakara is written as Repha, Dhakara, oh, Akara by mistake. Yeah, it is Rdhi. Yes, that's also a mistake. It is Ikar. Thanks for pointing out, Mahathir. So I think we can stop here. Please write to me if you have more doubts. It is conclude with the Shanti mantra. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. धन्यवादः. शुभरात्रिः. पुनर्मिलामः.